In our last video, we learned about how pain is transmitted from the body up to the brain and back. Now, we're going to take a closer look at how we can affect the pain in various different spots. We talked about in the last video, we can affect it at the tissue level, at the body level. We talked about how we can affect it at the spinal cord level. And we talked about how we can affect it at the brain level. And as we explore this diagram of various different ways that we can change pain, we'll get a better picture of how each of these play out and how to create a cocktail of things that you might find on this image or the ones that you might come up with on your own that help you heal for your particular condition. So we've talked about PNE Plus and how pain understanding helps you feel better because it decreases the pain and allows you to interact with exercise and with your daily activities with greater confidence. Now we're going to talk specifically about this model of PNE Plus, and starting to do that, we're going to do the 4 pillars. We're going to take a look at the 4 pillars. And this first one is pain education, which is what I just touched on. When we understand pain, it becomes less scary and we're able to do more because we're not as scared. Next, we have sleep, which is the next thing I tend to look at when people are struggling with pain, because this is our time to recover. If we sleep better, generally everything else in our life is better. We're going to digest better, we're going to feel better, we're going to think better, we're going to function performance-wise in the gym and during our daily activities. If you're, have a labor job or something like that, you're going to function better when you sleep better. Okay. The next thing is aerobic exercise. The reason this is important is because it releases our feel-good chemicals inside of our body. If you have heard of the runner's high, or if you heard of the chemical oxytocin or endorphins, those things are released when we do aerobic exercise. And this is anything like recumbent biking, doing a jog if you're capable of jogging, swimming, rowing, elliptical, treadmill, anything that is cardio, gets your heart rate up, and it's going to release these really good chemicals in our body. On top of that, that's going to be long-lasting pain relief, because these chemicals are actually the same ones that our pain medications are modeled after. Opioids are modeled after these really powerful chemicals. They're called endogenous opioids because they come from our body. They come from us. That's what endogenous means. They come from us. On top of that, with the pain relief from the chemicals, we're learning that exercise and movement can actually feel good and not painful in a lot of ways. A lot of ways, people who are in pain for a long period of time, they connect exercise or they connect movement with pain, and this aerobic exercise gives us evidence of the contrary. It gives us evidence that exercise and movement can feel good, not just neutral. And the final piece, the final pillar of this model is setting goals. And these are goals relevant to you. A lot of times when I'm talking to people, we're talking about hiking. Maybe it's trail running or some sort of gym activity. But we want to design all of our exercises and all of the things that we're going to do around the things that are important to you. So if it's important to lift up your grandkid, we probably need to be doing some sort of deadlift where you're picking up weight from the floor. At some point in your rehab, at some point in your healing process, it would be wise to train and expose your body to that movement, to that thing that you're wanting to achieve. And if we do that, we can gradually expose the body to these kinds of things up to the point where you want to achieve. Now, the opposite is true if let's say, for example, we use the same example from before. If you want to lift up your grandkid, maybe doing planks in your exercise routine is not as effective for that particular goal because those things are very different exercises. So we want to engage in exercises and engage in things that are relevant to the end goal that we have in mind. Okay? So those are the 4 pillars and the places that we really want to start for us to start gaining traction and to start getting momentum in your healing. Now, all of the other things are possibilities. They're examples of things that may help you, may be of benefit to your pain. So what I want you to do is pause this video, explore some of these other things, and explore what you've heard from your friends, your family, online. What are the things that you've heard that could help you feel better? Now, here's the really important key concept with all of these other things. There is no right or wrong answer. And if you feel like, if you believe it would help you, I get this question commonly from acupuncture. They're like, Nick, I don't really know about this weird needle thing. People call it acupuncture. What do you think? Do you think it would help? And the answer I always give people is, if you think it would help you, it probably will, because you have a vested interest in it working. And if nothing else, if it's completely not supported by evidence, you still have the placebo effect. And whether or not it's an intervention-specific effect, if it helps, it helps. I don't care if it's supported by the evidence. If it helps you heal, that's what's important. If it helps you feel better and gets traction and leads you to some of these other things like exercise that we know is really helpful for you, that's what's important. Okay? So that's the approach. We've got to find a cocktail of things, and it may be lots of these things. It may be none of these things. But we've got to find the right recipe of things to get you on the path to healing. And that's what I want you to explore with this video.